Hi guys. Let's see. How's everybody doing tonight? It is Tuesday night before 4th of July, and I am a huge fan of 4th of July, and I actually could, I think I could wear like a 4th of July shirt all week long. I did ask my kids if I could wear a fun 4th of July shirt the day before 4th of July, and they said no, but I did anyway, because I could wear 4th of July clothes all the time. So I have my new kitten. It's actually Eli's new kitten, but he's at the skate park again, so I'm kitty sitting, and so he is here. This is Percy, if you watched my last video. So tonight, I want to talk to y'all about apps that you can use to help your kids with math. And it's not going to be a list. So I'm just going to tell you my thoughts, and hopefully that is helpful and a blessing to you. So first, I want you to think about, oh, and I never introduced myself for those of you who are new, because we're getting new followers. My name is Nell Stortz, and I am the owner of Follow the Formula, where I help homeschool moms with homeschool math. So first, I want you to think about an app that you used to use, or just any kind of technology that you used to use that you no longer use anymore. So how many MySpace users were there? Like, that was the thing. Who has a MySpace anymore? What about Words with Friends? Remember when everyone played Words with Friends? Which actually was founded here in McKinney. And maybe someone still does play with Words with Friends, but it's not near what it used to be. So there's always apps that are coming out that are new and exciting. And so when we talk about what is a good math app, I could give you the names of 4 that are great today, but the chances that they're still going to be the very best ones tomorrow or the next day or, you know, in 3 weeks are slim, okay, especially in a year. Things are just changing so much. So I want to tell you my thoughts on what kind of apps to look for, so that way that can help you in picking some for your kids to use. And mostly I'm talking in this particular situation about apps for your computer, but you know, it could be other things too. So first, there's pretty much 3 things in math that you're doing all the time. So the first one, and they're not in any particular order, because I kind of think of it like a triangular pyramid, right? So think of a pyramid, all the sides are coming up to a point. So the goal with all of these things is that, like, you might build one side up and then some of the other side, and then, but eventually you come to a point. So the 3 aspects are memorizing, understanding the concept, and using an application. So I'm going to give you an example. Okay, so when kids are learning addition, part of what we want them to do is just memorize. We want them to see 4 plus 7 and know that that's 11 without having to think about it. Okay, so that's memorizing, and that happens from beginning math all the way up through advanced math. Okay, there's always things we want to memorize because that makes it faster and easier. Okay, but we also want them to understand the concept. So when we're talking about 4 plus 7, we want them to understand that it's 4 things plus 7 things means I have 11 things. So there's the concept there. And then we want them to be able to put it in an application problem. So like if they say, you know, if we're young and we're talking about simple, we have 4 pennies, and then our friend finds 7 pennies. So how many pennies do we have together? We have 11 pennies. Okay, so those 3 concepts: memorizing, just being able to find it, know it right away; understanding the concept, like how did you get the answer, and then applying that in an application, are the 3 pieces we need to all math learning. So when you're looking at apps, you want to find ones that do those 3 things. Now, it's not going to be the same app all the time, but you need to find apps that are touching on those things. Or if you have a great app that's good for memorizing, like you have a student who's just doing multiplication, like memorizing the multiplication facts. And so you have an app that's really great for that. Well, then when you do math with them, or when you're just doing, like, talking through math in the car or all that kind of stuff, make sure you're doing application problems and asking them to explain, hey, how did you know that 6 times 4 was 24? Tell me how you knew that. Okay, so if the app is just doing the memorizing, then make sure you're asking of the other 2 things. So one more time, just to make sure we get it, we are memorizing, we are understanding the concept, and we are using it in an application. So we want all 3 of those things to be happening as often as possible. So when we look for apps, we want the same thing. So, and this does not just apply to elementary school. So like if you have a high school math student who is maybe in Algebra 1, okay? So when they're graphing, we want them to be able to memorize the steps on how to graph. Find the y-intercept, find the slope. It's memorizing the steps. We want them to be able to tell us why they did that, what the y-intercept means, what the slope means, how did you know to go up and over. So we want them to be able to explain it. That's the understanding. And then we want them to be able to say, hey, if I'm going to buy t-shirts and the t-shirts cost $10 a piece and there's a setup charge of $15, how much will it cost me for this many shirts, this many shirts, this many shirts? So that's the application, okay? So we wanted to be able to do those three things, whether we're talking about little kids doing addition, subtraction, basic operations, all the way through upper level math. We're always looking for memorizing, understanding the concept, and using an application. And the goal of this, guys, the goal of all of math to me is problem solving. Because if you can do those things, then you're a good problem solver. And that is what's helpful for your life skills forever. Because people ask all the time, when am I going to use this? When am I going to use this? When am I going to use math? Well, you're not going to use the exact, I mean, there's very rarely that you're going to solve a linear programming problem as an adult. I understand that. But the problem solving skills you learn when you learn how to do that when you're younger, those problem solving skills are things you are going to use all the way through adulthood and through life. So don't we all want our kids to be good problem solvers? So once again, when we're talking about what apps to use, we want to look for things that help us memorize, things that help us understand the concept. So any of those ones where you drag things around the screen and put them in groups, or anything that helps conceptually figure out what you're doing. And we want to use in application problems, word problems, any kind of real life scenario. So that's our like litmus test for apps, is making sure you're using a variety. And the other thing I want to say about apps is that none of them are going to make you less smart. So even if it's not a great app, if you look up apps to help with multiplication, try the first one, give it to your kid. If they don't like it after a few days, try another one. But doing it isn't going to make them dumber. They're all gonna, any math you do is gonna help you get better. Like, they're not gonna have the wrong answer. So it's not like you're gonna use a wrong app. Anything's gonna helpful. Just make sure you're trying to hit all three of those things. So that is my math pro tip for tonight. Oh, and I wanted to say, you know what, guys, that's also good for curriculum, because once again, curriculum's gonna change, right? Curriculum comes and goes. There's new curriculum, they change their curriculum. Nothing is a perfect fit for kinder all through kindergarten. So when you're looking at that, once again, make sure you're looking at memorizing, understanding the concept, and using an application, all the way from young to advanced math. Okay, so if this was helpful to you, or this was a blessing to you, I would love if you would share it. Y'all have been awesome at sharing, and I so appreciate it. I think this kitten is getting hungry. Also, hold me to this, because I am working on my new website and a giveaway, and I've been working on it for 4 straight days now, and there's always things I can change, and there's always things I can make better, but I'm going to release it on Thursday no matter what. Okay, so there's going to be a giveaway, and I'm going to release my website on Thursday, whether it's 100% ready or not. So ready or not, it's coming on Thursday, and y'all hold me to it. So thanks so much for watching. I hope everyone has a great 4th of July tomorrow. We have quite a few activities that we have planned, so I will be, I'm actually going to probably post our schedule, and I'll try to post pictures tomorrow on one of my social media accounts. So hope everyone has a great day and a great rest of your evening tonight. Thanks, guys.